This is the Peter Greenwood Show at the Edinburgh Fringe, and the word legend is thrown around a lot at this festival, as it is in life. But I am sitting next to a proper Fringe legend. Could you tell me your name and your show, please?
Hello, my name is Thom Tuck, and I'm doing Scaramouche Jones at the Big Yurt near Potterrow Port.
How are you today, Tommy? You well?
Yes, good. First one just done, so having one under the belt is always always preferable.
Win, lose or draw, it's always the first one. It's like the first pancake. You never give that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do a second until you've done the first.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't do 79th until you've done 78th.
Exactly.
I nearly got my maths wrong there. So, you brought back Scaramouche Jones. Why? I don't want to say why, an accusatory why, but
yes,
why?
Some people bring back maybe last year's stand-up show that did well, so they can do it, having had all the press, and they can run up to this. I'm bringing back a play I didn't write 20 years after I first did it at the Fringe. Because, the premise is a 100-year-old clown comes off stage after his final performance, walks into his dressing room and just starts talking. And so I did it at the Fringe in 2005, and in 2015 I thought, it'd be interesting, actually, if I do it now I'm 10 years closer to the age of the character.
Yeah.
And here we are, another 10 years closer to the age. And so I vowed to do it every decade until I am dead.
And even then, it'll just be a shorter show, just a half an hour.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have an heir by then. pass on the baton.
Pass on the script. Here you go. Do this. So did you say 100-year-old clown?
100-year-old clown.
100-year-old clown goes backstage and just starts talking. What kind of things does this clown talk about, and what got you interested in doing that again?
Well, I was originally cast in it. I didn't pick the project. It was a girl called Charlotte Jarvis, who is now a very successful visual artist, also an artist straddling science and art. She works with genetics and all strange sort of things.
Yeah.
But she had seen the play, or had read the play, and wanted to put it on at university. And so I got cast in it, and then we did it at the Fringe, because we did it in term time, and then we did it at the Fringe. And not a lot of people saw it, but we were very proud of the work.
Yeah.
And so, I thought 10 years later, it'd be interesting to see if I'm 10 years better as a performer, if I'm 10 years, more skilled and able to hold an audience, and it seemed to me that I was. And this year, I'm again trying to deepen the work, deepen the performance, add more layers of actual clowning alongside the storytelling, because it's mainly a storytelling piece. He tells the story of the first half of his life, of his 100-year life, and basically how he became a clown.
And what made you want to get involved back in 2005? What made you want to get involved and stay involved?
I was at university, and to the detriment of my philosophy degree, I wanted to get involved with as many things as I could. I was at Edinburgh University, so over there, Bedlam Theatre.
Right.
At the end of George IV.
Yeah.
That's my student theatre.
Oh wow!
And so that's where we first did it in 2005, and it's. I was also in the improv troupe, the Improverts, if you know them.
Yep.
A storied institution.
So I hear.
Yes. We have Miles Jupp was an alumnus. Me, David Reed, Humphrey Carr, Lucy Kirkwood, the playwright. Yep. my agent.
They're one of those prestigious groups which I think, could I apply? No, I won't bother embarrassing myself.
Well, you should do Wednesday workshops.
Really?
So, Saturdays.
Okay.
Saturday workshops. If they still take the same schedule as we did it back then, there was Saturday workshops which were just open to anyone, so anyone could come and have a play.
Really? Sounds fun.
It was really fun, yeah. And then basically, if you went to the Saturday workshops and you were interested in doing it, really, you might get invited to the Wednesday workshops, which was invite only. And then, if you'd done the Wednesday workshops for a bit, you might get invited to do the show. Right. But it was a brilliant. When I was the first play I did at university was an Alan Ayckbourn farce where Miles Jupp played my dad. And the director said, "Oh, don't join the Improverts, they're a bunch of arseholes." And Miles took me along and said, join the improverts. The amount of stage time you get to stand on stage and make people laugh is invaluable. The Malcolm Gladwell idea of 10,000 hours. Like, you get a lot of hours in doing a show every Friday night.
Yeah. And sometimes there might even be people there.
We sold out
Really?
we used to sell out every night. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Every Friday. Yeah. During the Fringe, maybe not so much, but they do okay during the Fringe. But I went back. In fact, 10 years ago. Went back to watch a show and joined in with the last game of the night, freeze, where people from the audience can join in. So me and my agent, Corey Maguire, who was an introvert as well, joined in the final game.
Did you tell them you were there? Because I imagine if you're looking out at the audience, because you look out in the audience and you see somebody playing the game perfectly, it's like, I'm getting a sense about you.
yeah. He's a ringer.
Yeah, someone sent him in. So, I mean this in the most lovely way possible. You've done this show 2005, 2015, 2025. How have you changed the performance?
Well, first time I was basically a child. 23. I was 23. You live a pretty cosseted existence, at university. It's not, you're not in the real world. I hadn't yet had a proper... No, I'd had a proper job before university for a year, gap year job. But I was just so green and I didn't really know anything. And obviously a 100-year-old clown has had a hell of a life from, pushed from pillar to post. Like, I feel like I've had... more of my shares of heartbreaks and scars that I can. That's the main thing, and I'm slightly less bendy than I was, so perhaps the physicalisation is slightly less impressive, but the emotional resonance is more.
You know what? I was going to tie my shoelace, and it's one of those tiny benches, about yay high for the listening audience. Yay high.
That's about 2 foot, I'd say.
Yes. Yeah. So I went to put my foot out there, and I got it out fine, but it was getting it down. That was a problem. I couldn't lift enough. So I understand you're not as bendy bit.
Well, I am still exceptionally bendy.
Oh, really?
And this will be perfect for audio, but I'm going to put the microphone down and show you how bendy I am.
Please do. I'm very curious. Oh my God, that looks incredibly painful. I couldn't do that if you paid me.
Yes, for the benefit of the listening audience, I put my leg behind my head.
See, I wasn't going to tell them. I was going to let that be a...
Oh, well, just bleep that.
No, Tom did put his leg behind his head, and I was flabbered. My flabbers have been gassed.
I've also probably broken my foot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which is quite annoying. But I mean, it's sort of curtailing my movement somewhat.
Yeah. I've noticed as I'm getting older that there are things I want to do, and when I go to do them, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be... Like, even, again, jumping off something that's quite high, it's like... Yeah.
Yeah, I was carrying a box down the stairs, and the box was so big I couldn't see the stairs, and I thought it was the last stair, and it was not the last stair, and crack went the ankle.
That sounds agonising.
Yeah, it's actually... It's improving, but there's nothing you can do with a broken foot, really.
Yeah, you just need to...
don't play football.
Yeah. Or hopscotch.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, I mean, we've discussed every 10 years doing the show. 2035? Too early to ask for that?
No, definitely. I will definitely be doing it in 2035. I can't yet confirm the venue.
Right. That's as much as that's the only issue.
It will definitely happen.
Yeah.
And unless something astonishing happens, I will be here every year until then, but I won't be doing Scaramouche.
Yeah.
I'll be doing... I think I'm going to do a stand-up show next year.
Right.
Because it's my 23rd Fringe.
Oh, wow. This is my 6th.
Well, you absolutely
green
behind the ears. My first was 1999.
Wow. I was in second year in high school in 1999.
I was still in sixth form.
Yeah.
I was 17 years old, and I was cast in a production of West Side Story.
Oh, wow.
Was there a twist? Yes, capoeira. Do you know Edinburgh well?
Yeah.
It was in the now defunct daycare centre for the people with learning difficulties
Okay, yeah.
called the Bonington Resource Centre. So East Claremont Street. If you keep going down there, away from the Fringe, you get to Bonington Road, and on Bonington Road there was a daycare centre, and we had a full production of West Side Story in there, which none of us involved in the production had any idea what we were doing, except that, of the play, we had no idea what the Fringe was. We got here and we're like, what the hell is this? It just blew our minds. And it was full production of West Side Story, so it was a 2-hour show with an interval, which is, again, not something you generally do at the Fringe. And it was
trailblazers, though.
Well, I mean, 1999, Fringe was so different then. It really was. But we got... this is how long ago it was. We got a 4-star review in the Scotsman, and then we sold out. Because that's what, that used to really matter. Used to really matter, a review in the Scotsman.
Yeah.
And we won a Herald Angel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a certificate or anything in that?
I think the producers took it rather than one of the cast.
See, that's where I'd be like, I'm going to take this. I'll take this. Thank you.
So actually, that was the first show I did at the Fringe, won an award. And last year, I won a second award.
Oh, wow. Only a 25-year gap at that point?
25-year gap. I won a Malcolm Hardy Award for Comic Originality.
Congratulations.
For doing a show at a different venue and different time every day. So people had to find me.
Yeah.
Which is great fun. It was great fun.
It sounds like, and I mean this in a loving way, like, those pop-up food trucks in New York? It's
something like that.
53rd and Broadway.
It was a pop-up comedy show, and it was essentially a pub quiz as well. So,
oh, wow.
So I would start it, and the people who'd come deliberately would be, in for the quiz, and then people who were just wandering by would hear a question, go, oh, can I join? Yeah, why
not? Come on in.
So it was a joyous experience, and cost me nothing.
which is a good thing, because Fringe is not cheap. I imagine even back then the Fringe wasn't cheap to go to.
No. No. The Fringe was... pints and show tickets were much cheaper in 1999. Then things started climbing, and then PBH started the free Fringe, and that's helped give it a little bit of a thing. But most of the time, you're like, 12 quid for a man in a room for a bit. Where's the value in this? Yeah. Most shows should be a £5.
I feel like that is kind of, or should be, the kind of going rate for a show at the Fringe, because that lets you see so many more as well.
Yeah, we would see 3 shows a night. And if we had been 17 nowadays, we couldn't afford to.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably would have gone to 3 Fringe shows and given a £5 at the end.
Yeah.
But which is the great effect PBH has had.
Yeah, PBH are doing fantastic things, aren't they?
Well, PBH himself, you have to argue, is a force for good at the Fringe overall.
Yeah.
Overall. If you're listening to this, Peter.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
But yeah, they're fantastic shows. Fantastic shows on the Free Fringe. And, I doubt Peter will listen to this, but at the Free Festival as well, even though he hates them. And then Monkey Barrel do some shows that are free to come in if if it's not full, and Hootenannies, who I'm with this year, same. I think my tickets are £8.
Wow!
But anyone can come in and donate at the end if they would like, which I hope they do. I forgot to ask today.
And do you know if anyone did?
Well, definitely not, because there was no one there to take any donations.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a process. You get him back into it.
Yeah. I very much treated today as a dress rehearsal.
Yes.
I invited people starting tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow is when it gets good.
Yeah.
If I may ask, 26th year at the Fringe, we touched on it a little bit. How has it changed?
The 23rd Fringe.
23rd Fringe.
So I was at 99, and then 2002 until COVID, and then didn't do the 2 COVID years, even though there was a small Fringe in the second one, and then since, So
how has it changed? Because my only knowledge of the Fringe is when Billy Connolly would talk about it, and he'd say you get your guitar, you go to a pub and just sit and play, and people would join, people would go, and you'd have a good time.
Well, I do that these days. I play the songs of the Mountain Goats, if you know the band.
I know of them.
So, in fact, my decompression before I came here to do this interview, after doing the show, was I played 3 songs of the Mountain Goats outside the venue with Elsie MacDonald, who's a singer-songwriter and is doing my tech this year, and their partner. So Elsie was joining on another guitar, I was playing guitar, and their partner was on violin, and people were just like walking by going, oh, this is nice. but
This is what we expect in Edinburgh.
Yeah, and it should be. Bring the vibes.
Which is that something that's come up a lot in the last few years of the Fringe? Because I've noticed everyone talks about the vibes and the vibes that the Fringe brings. Is that something you notice and enjoy as a performer?
Well, the thing about the Fringe is there's a hell of a lot of people here with their hearts in the right place, trying their best.
Yeah.
And that's... I don't want to be wanky and talk about energy, but, there's just something about it that, like... There's loads of people who want things to be going well. If you're doing a show in, out with this festival, you're working against everyone's, working day, or people who've come up here to watch shows. They want to see shows. That's why they're here.
Yeah.
It's automatically a good vibe on that.
Yeah.
And there's people who've come and created something, and it's automatically a good vibe there. And so, there's tons of problems with the Fringe, the commerciality of it, the various monopolies on various different things, and but it's still the greatest place in the world for the 1 month a year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I will say I haven't been to other Fringes, but I just can't imagine a Fringe better than Edinburgh.
It's the biggest arts festival in the world.
Yeah.
I hear that South by Southwest in Austin is pretty cool.
That does seem kind of fun.
Melbourne apparently is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think anywhere, because of the geography of the old town. There's just something about that, the glorious buildings every direction you look. Edinburgh is a city that looks amazing in any type of weather.
Yeah.
Even it's pissing it down. Just get inside and look out the window. It's still nice.
Yeah.
and just this enforced, almost like cocoon of the old town.
Yeah. It is very localised because it is kind of split by the train track. You've got Old Town and New Town, and Old Town is specifically Fringe. It does tend to stay up here.
Every bin store is a venue in the Old Town,
Yeah.
and in the New Town you have certain rooms which are venues. Obviously, the Stand is over there, and they've got the proper assembly rooms, which I've done shows in both in the past, and they're great. But the footfall of the Old Town, of people walking about here, unless they've got a job, and if you're flying and they've got a briefcase, leave them be.
Is that your top tip?
Yeah. Other than if you want to get down the mile, the best way to do it is to start miming. People just move out your way. That's my top tip.
That's your tip. Noted. If you're listening out there, take that tip and run with it. Now, before I let you go, and I know you do have other things to do, I would be remiss if I didn't ask about Horrible Histories and your role on that. What was that like, working with that team?
It was great. I mean, you look at the call sheet and you go, it's a 3-wig day. I did 3 episodes, but I was like a main cast member for 3 episodes. And I got to rap as Ben Johnson.
Is that something you thought you'd say when you woke up that morning?
Absolutely not. I got to play a lute as if it was a bass guitar. I got to play the Mayor of London during the Great Fire of London. It was absolutely great.
What a great job that must have been.
My first day was like, come in and get made up as a caveman. You're like, yeah, wicked. A hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I've been doing radio 13 years and nobody has ever asked me to dress up as a caveman.
Yep.
It's the differentials between our careers, sir.
Yeah, I mean, on radio, they might just ask you to do an impression rather than put on a wig.
That's true. Yeah, nobody asks you to dress up on radio. Yeah. Do it with more inflection. Oh.
Ooh.
So, you know how Balamory has come back? Do you think Horrible Histories could ever return to television?
I think they are.
Are they?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, because they did a series last year, I think.
I didn't know that.
I think they did, yeah.
Shows how much I pay attention. I did not know that.
To be fair, it is a kids' show, so it probably wasn't advertised to you by the algorithm.
Yes, it did not pop up in amongst all the evil things that are happening in the world.
I'm fairly sure Tom and that did it. Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm sure they went to there was they have the children's BAFTAs. I think.
Yes.
I think they went.
Oh wow!
I'm sure I saw that on Instagram.
Good for them. Because I knew they'd done a couple of stage shows.
Yeah, so the sort of rights are really splintered.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you're licensing this and it says that I think there were 3 different possible rights to things. But the television version, I think. Well, they certainly did a series relatively recently.
Yeah. So it could be back at some point.
Yep.
Amazing. And finally, again, before you go, you work with Dick and Dom.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
That shows how old I am.
Was it In the House?
It was In the House.
In the House. Yeah, we did just a sketch on the little show. Yeah, we had really fun time. I've forgotten about that. Bloody hell. That's a long time ago. That's with Penny Dreadfuls in 2007, I believe.
See, you say things like that and you think, oh, it's 2007. Then you think, that was 2007. Like, it sinks in.
Well, I bumped into a friend of mine called Kathy Rivet, who is a comedian. But she was in, like, the Chortle student comedian. So she was a young one.
Right.
And she said, did you really do this play 20 years ago? I said, yeah, I did. And she was like, because I'm 20, and I just died inside.
That seems mean to say.
She didn't have any malice about it whatsoever.
Wow. She was like an egg when you first did that.
Not cool, Kathy.
Yeah.
Not cool.
So where can people... I'm sorry, we got completely off track from your show. Where can people find out more about you and about the show online?
Well, I'm at Turleygod across the internet. Instagram's probably the place that I'm most likely to post stuff. And the show's at 2:45 at the Big Yurt at Hoots by Potterow Port on the corner of South College and West College Street, if you know it. Obviously I've got my late night show, the Alternative Comedy Memorial Society, which runs Sunday to Wednesdays.
That was one of the things I wanted to ask you about, but we're so out of time.
Yeah, no, fine.
Sorry.
Which is...
I'm terrible at this.
Well, it's now essentially a Fringe institution itself. Mm-hmm. But I think it's its 12th year at the Fringe.
Yeah.
And it's a mixed bill, late night cavalcade. People doing short sets, trying things that might not work elsewhere, probably won't work elsewhere, giving them a false sense of security about their new material.
And it's had some really interesting names drop by.
Oh, yeah, we have. We've
Sarah Pascal?
Pascoe,
yes. Not Pascal,
Sarah Pascoe was one of the original board members.
Was she?
Oh, in fact, I've just seen someone walking past that window. Jos Norris, who's one of the current board members. Josie Long.
Yes.
Bridget Christie.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, most of the women who were on the board originally have now got book deals. We have very good taste in board members. Ben Target, Dara Breen came to see it once. He's never done it.
If you're listening, Dara, get out there, give it a go.
Tony Law's done it a few times. Ed Burns come down and mucked about. Tim Vine. We have a lovely time. And I have a different co-host every night nowadays, so keeps me on my toes, having to play with someone different every night.
Must be fun though.
Oh,
like, you don't get stuck in. I don't want to say stuck in a routine.
Yeah, no,
but
exactly. Yeah,
different things.
Even when I have had a regular co-host, we don't plan anything, and it's never the same twice. We like very much like no, we're going to treat this evening as itself.
Yeah, which is part of the show.
Exactly, yeah. Be in the moment, live ridiculously. And we've had Munnery has co-hosted a couple of times, and some of those have become strange.
They've taken turns?
Strange ceremonies. They've become things unto themselves, howlings at the moon. glorifying into the night.
Which sounds amazing. If that doesn't sell the ticket, I don't know what will. Thom Tuck, Fringe legend. I'm going to keep saying that. Thom Tuck, legend of the Edinburgh Fringe. Thank you so much for your time today. It was lovely to sit and talk to you.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
Scaramouche Jones is playing Big Yurt at Hoots at Potter Row at 2:45 in the afternoon, every day until the 25th of August. For tickets, go to edfringe.com and type in Scaramouche Jones. For the Peter Greenwood Show at the Edinburgh Fringe 2025, I've been your host, Peter Greenwood. See you next time.